Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything and welcome back to another video. So we are in the middle of a Falsebound Kingdom live stream and a new format just got launched called Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG Genesis, and I wanted to make a quick video going over the rules, my quick thoughts on it, and just a couple of things that I wanted to point out and really see how the community is feeling regarding this, because I've seen a lot of mixed things. I've seen a lot of people saying, why is this a thing? I've seen a lot of people say this seems like a really potentially cool thing. And I've seen a lot of people kind of link this to, hey, they will do everything they can to make new formats without giving us Rush Duels in the West, which I actually find hilarious. So let's just get right into it. Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG Genesis, looking for something new, a different way to duel. Got some old friends you'd like to get into dueling again? Get ready for Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG Genesis. The rules are interesting, and again, what this format tends to do is it tends to kind of cut out some of the newer ways to play Yu-Gi-Oh!, which I think is going to appeal to people. I think the goal of it, at least, is to appeal to people who maybe have not picked up Yu-Gi-Oh! Since the 5Ds era, since the Zexal era, because that first rule is a big one. No link or pendulum monsters, and the old game field is used. So no extra monster zones, no pendulum zones. So very clearly, this is a way to, I think, try to appeal to those people that maybe have not played Yu-Gi-Oh! In a while, or maybe just do not like pendulums, do not like links, yearn for that old style of Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is clearly what, that's going to try to appeal to. All other cards are allowed. There is no forbidden and limited list. Deck construction now will use a point system. Some powerful cards have a point cost when building your deck. Most cards cost no points. Each duelist will have the same number of points to build their deck. This brings the power ceiling on decks down for everyone and focuses duels on the battle action. And this is actually something I really like. Tournament organizers can change the point cap for every event. Standard is 100 points, but you can do a 200 point event where people can have more powerful cards, or lower it to 50 or even 0 power cards, whatever you want. So I like that even within this new format, there are ways for tournament organizers to make it unique and make every tournament feel a little differently, where either you can have a lot of powerful cards in the deck or none at all, or maybe just like, fewer, which I think is really cool. And again, a lot of people I've seen are asking like, well, who is this for? Well, here you go. Less complicated game, new to the game, have always had a favorite deck and want their favorite deck to be more competitive, as long as it's not a pendulum or link deck. Looking for a new experience, deck building challenge, and everyone who just can't get enough of dueling. And they already have Genesis Invitationals. I mean, this is a real thing. This is going to be at YCS events. This is going to be at some locals. And then you might be wondering, well, what are the point cost cards? Well, here you go. Again, the standard is going to be 100 points. So you see there are some cards that are 100 points. So you want to run in Abyss Dweller, you can. It's not banned, but it's going to cost 100 points, which is going to be pretty much the entire capacity, meaning you are not going to be able to run any of these cards. You have Ash Blossom at 15. Again, there are over 500 cards on this, so I'm not going to go through every single one. I'll just kind of let it scroll here. Dimensional Barriers at 100. But every single card, I'm sure Pot of Greed, right, is not going to be banned. It's going to be on here. Pot of Greed is actually 30. So you could run 3 copies of Pot of Greed if you wanted to, which is really, really cool. Cards that have not been off the ban list in forever. Cards that probably will never be off the ban list. Maxi here. Maxi is that 20? No, 50. So you can run 2 Maxis if you wanna, but then you're not running any of the other cards. So there certainly are some challenges that this brings, and I think that is actually really, really cool. It was highlighted that deck building and deck construction is going to be something that you have to challenge. Miscellaneousaurus, which is a card I love. Great card in Dino 75. I wonder if Ultimate Conductor Tyranno is on here. No, but I bet you Lagia probably is. Oh, no, maybe not. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, listen, it's just a lot of playing around, and if there's a deck type you like, what cards are going to be on here, what cards are not going to be on here, and I can use as many as I want. It's definitely interesting. Now, I think something that I do want to say, which I think is funny, and shout out to X-Slayer, because he said it kind of in a joking way in my Discord. I think he's in the chat right now. They will do everything they can to do new formats like this and new ways to play the game, and they just will not import Rush into the TCG. Now, I know importing Rush into the TCG versus something like this has... Please tell me Super Poly, by the way, is at 110? I hate that card, man. I know there's challenges with importing Rush into the TCG. And one of the big challenges, of course, comes from the fact that they would need to print all new cards, whereas this uses an existing card pool that players can more easily get their hands on. And I'm sure they're going to probably do tins that are maybe like reprints for this format. I would imagine maybe something along those lines. But man, I know there's a lot of people that are still coping for Rush to come to the TCG. I've honestly stopped hoping for that. Well, I'm still hoping for it, but I've stopped believing it at all. Like, ever since like 2022, 2023, I just don't think there's any chance that Rush Duels are ever going to come to the TCG, unfortunately. And I just find it really funny that, like, they will give us a new format, and yet they will just not make Rush Duels a thing in the TCG. So, I think for the people that are still holding out hope on that, this is another reason to just say it's just not going to happen. And I think Duel Links, unfortunately, is going to be, for a long time, probably ever, the most legal and efficient way to play Rush Duel. And, I want to know your guys' thoughts. I mean, I've seen a lot of mixed reactions. A lot of people think this can be pretty cool. And then I've seen a lot of people commenting and saying, I don't know what the point of this new format is. Again, I think the point of it is to appeal to people that have not played Yu-Gi-Oh! In a long time, that feel a certain type of way about Links and Pendulums specifically. Those were the two mechanics, remember, that changed the entire board. You can say Synchros XZs changed the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Links and Pendulums changed the entire board of Yu-Gi-Oh! And so I think this is a way to try to appeal to those older players who have not played Yu-Gi-Oh! In a while and maybe want a more simplistic, older school style way to play. And whether it's going to work, whether it's going to be successful, who really knows? I mean, it's obvious that Speed Duel had its time in the sun for a little bit. We'll see if this format is going to be more successful than Speed Duel was. But, this is just another way to play, and it's another kind of, I think, just like, damn. If you wanted Rush Duel, if you were hoping for Rush Duel, it's another announcement that makes you really start feeling like Rush Duel is just not going to happen here, which is a shame. And hopefully I'm wrong about that, but, that's one of my big takeaways from this new format. But, guys, in the comments, please let me know all your thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis. Let me know if you are interested in this. And just let me know anything you want to say down below in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching. And I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.